abnormal canopy release. What's an abnormal canopy release then?
Look at this.
I'm just in the Falklands War section. In here, they've got a few more German artifacts, but I'm just going to walk about the Falklands in a bit. Let's see the German bombs. This is more World War II stuff. MK43 torpedo. If I was shopping, I don't know if I'd buy that. You know, Star Wars pod racer. Looks like that. Yeah, I'm just going towards the Falklands section. 1982. This is still World War II stuff here. Because they've mixed up the sections. Because these are from World War II, and that helicopter's from the Falklands. So these are World War II as well. 1944, 1943. That one's made of wood. I don't think it would have done too much damage. Yeah, that helicopter's from the Falklands. Royal Air Force Transport Command. Work is in progress. This is the Falklands section now. And yes, it is called the Falklands. Falklands conflict. In 1982, Argentina seized control of the Falklands, a British territory in the South Atlantic Ocean. The RAF was mobilised as part of the UK's effort to liberate the islands. You know what they say, finders keepers, and we found it first. That's a Rolls-Royce engine, look at that. I think Anakin drove that in the Phantom Menace pod race. Imagine being sucked into there. You know the James Bond film. I think one of the baddies. No, it was Indiana Jones. Gets sucked into an engine. But this is the Falklands section. I've done the World War One. I've done the World War Two. I've done the Korean. I've done the Cold War, and this is the last part now. Just have one look around here, and then I'll go. Allison, strange name for an engine. Mind you, I'll say this is the Falklands section, but there's a plane there from 1924. I'll show you in a bit. Jet Provost. Size of these engines. Definitely from the pod racing from Phantom Menace. Avon. The Hawk has sinking. 1924. That looks like the Spirits of St. Louis. You know Charles Lindbergh? That really looks like he's playing. I think that's in America, obviously. The Hawker Signet, light sporting airplane, 1924. It's a beauty. I can't believe the size of these engines. I think the Falklands conflict only lasted 2 weeks. Once we got the Gurkhas, there's no one braver than the Gurkhas, and once England says let's fetch in the Gurkhas, that was it. There used to be more planes here. What's happened to them? They probably sold them. There was a plane here last time I came. I don't think someone's pinched it. Size of those engines, Jesus. You'll get tiny pilots in there, very tiny. You need a big engine to get you put into the air, but the size of them. Yeah, this is the last room. And I'm still mixing up the Falklands with the Miles Magister, the first monoplane trainer. This aircraft served in Derbyshire between 1941 and 1943. Chucks away. I don't know why they're so cheap. It's called an RAF museum, but it's got jeeps and tanks. An unexpected fight in an unexpected place. you can get some gear in there. Yeah, the first hangar's from 1914. The second one's from World War II, and the third one's from Korea and the Cold War. And I'm in the last hangar now. I can't believe this missile's made of wood. And missile made of wood. It's ridiculous. I think that's another V1, isn't it? No, it's a hakok. Hakok. I don't know how you pronounce that. Let's call it Trev. Trev the bomb. Obviously, from the insignia, this is more World War II stuff. Walter the bomb. You can't call it bomb Walter. I thought there was a submarine, but it's a surface-to-air missile. The wings fell off. Someone's lost the wing. I hope they took those wings off on purpose. I love this is Cosford Air Museum over Cosford, obviously. It has planes from 1914 till today. And there's a few tanks and a few jeeps and a few other bits and bobs. But I'm just in the last section now, the Falklands. I don't know why there's a 1924 plane here. That looks like Charles Lindbergh's plane, but I've spent an hour in the Cold War section singing Highway to the Danger Zone. So these engines. Highway to. Like I say, there's 4 hangars, and this is hangar 4. So I'm just on my way out. But we've been to see the Korean planes and the German planes. Most of them I can't pronounce. 1924. I bet them worth a small fortune, love, to tell you that. Thankfully, England hasn't had a war for a while. And hopefully we won't have one again. And these babies are here as a reminder of the past. Gypsy Queen. There used to be 2 planes here. I don't know if they got them somewhere else for service or them fixing the gears or something, but they're not here today. can hear some birds squawking. Yeah, they all work. It's just that obviously there's no need for them to be of use because most of them from the 80s, past 73. But the Falklands was 1982, so these planes are more out of service for because you can't have planes flying that I'm like 40 years old. There's always safety. There's always safety to be considered. Planes over there. The danger zone. The danger zone. Let's go and have a look at Lenin. And then I'm going home. There's Lynn. I can hear the national anthem being piped in.
Take its progression all the way through. It was amazing. It was able to adapt and experiment and take the new technologies as they came along. And if you look at all the variants of the 53 engine, you can just see this very capable aircraft just growing and adapting till at the end it became an airplane that
Minigun. Size of that bomb. Enchiladas. See, they've got tanks here. I don't know why they've got tanks in an RAF museum. Spanky. I think they're supposed to give the impression of being frozen in time. That's why some of them's hanging upside down. I don't know why they got cars here. We've got jeeps. We've got tanks. I think that's a Mini. Probably wrong. TV. Melting the Cold War. I think the Cold War's over. I haven't been watching the news lately, but I think it's over. It is like a big time capsule. I filmed the World War I section earlier, and I can't walk over there again because my legs are killing me. But I'll just walk about the Cold War section a bit. I don't know what that one's doing up there. It looks like the lair of Dr. Evil. All these nukes. That's a big nuke. Dr. Evil with my laser. My greatest enemy, stairs. I really dislike stairs. The things I do for you guys. Maid Marian. I don't think that's Robin Hood's girlfriend, because she's got a butt out. Yes, they are. People just want to destroy each other. It makes no sense whatsoever. DEFCON. Say no to nukes. Yes indeed. And the tank. You problem with kids, but when you're trying to make a video, like I've done in the past, and the kids are shouting and screaming, and you can't hear yourself talk. But thankfully, it's nice and quiet here today. Just me with my nukes. You can go shopping here. Do you want to buy a Sidewinder or a Scorpion? The danger zone. Dun 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 dun. Highway. Maverick. Iceman. Chun-Li. Ken, Ryu, Bison. I think I might have mixed up my films there. Hey, Danny boy. I'm just seeing what nuclear warhead I want to buy at the gift shop. Now, there's a lot of nukes here, right? Hopefully they've been deactivated, but there's a red button here saying press here. I don't think that's very wise. I don't think that's wise to put a big red button next to the nuclear weapons. Look at the size of that missile. You don't want that dropped on your house, do you? Sidewinder. I think Tom Cruise flew away in plane like this. His bed is open. Any bombs inside? Hi Carlos, I'm just at Cosford. Look at the little tiny submarines, little tiny subs. I'm sure James Bond, bomber controller. I'm sure James Bond was tied to one of these missiles. Bond, James Bond Jr. Let's go back to Dr. Evil's lair. I don't think he's got any lasers, but we'll have a look at all the nuclear weapons. I wouldn't like to stand behind that. Yeah, this is just telling you about the East-West Cold War conflict. That is not a missile. That's a bloody continent. Look at that. Now, where's Dr. Evil? Because I'm definitely in his lair. What's that film with him? Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and the father missile. You know, he's brainwashed into being a secret agent. I'm sure they had one of these in the bloody film. All I can see is a nuclear warheads. How small are those sailors? Very, very tiny sailors. Yes, love Jason Bourne, but James Bond's always better. I have read most of his books, Jason Bourne. I don't think he looks like Matt Damon in the books. We've got some tanks here. We've got uno, dos, tres, four. We've got 4 tanks. Someone's going up to the top level. You get a good bird's eye view from there, but I've had enough. I've been walking about for 2 hours now and I'm absolutely shattered. The sea skewer. Skewer? Skewer. Skewer. Who names these bombs? Just call them Bob. Bob the bomb. A Hawker Siddeley Martel. I don't know why they got German cars here. I know it's a Cold War, but when you fetch kids here, you want to see tanks and planes and guns and bombs. But we've got East German saloon cars. I'm sure Mr. Bean drove one of these. Ted Bundy drove one of them. Buskull. James Bond Jr. Right, I have to go because I've got to catch my train, which is in 20 minutes, and it's a 25-minute walk there. Krushka kick off. Krush Kiev. Right the first time. And every museum you go to, you always leave by the gift shop. Look at these little guys. That's cute. There's Lenin. I think the Wi-Fi is gonna cut out while I walk away. If it cuts out, I'm gonna end the stream. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I'll upload loads of playing videos on my channel later. This is the Falklands section, which I've just been to. That's the Cold War section, and over the back there's a World War I hangar and a World War II hangar. So if you like planes, it's a fantastic place to come to. You're welcome, love. Have a nice day. Bye bye everyone. Thank you all for watching.